Folks, we got ourselves some interesting news here, and it has to deal with AI and technology. I'm getting afraid here. And look, I get it. AI is going to be part of our lives, so let's go ahead and get started with it. Okay. Whether you like it or not, computer, technology, automation, AI, it's going to be part of our lives. All right. I have to accept this. All right. So there's nothing I could say or do, but man, boy, if Hollywood and TV shows like Outer Limits, Black Mirror, and The Twilight Zone didn't warn us about this, I mean, here we are. Viewer discretion should be advised. This video was entirely generated by Google's VO3 AI. Okay, I'm impressed with this. And now, you know what? Here's my concern. Okay, there's going to be a lot of deep fakes out there, and this is how also people could get scammed online. This is how people could get scammed maybe via video chat. This has potential for good and potential for evil, serious evil. Okay, because AI technology is getting better. It's going to get better. Okay, and look, I have nothing but respect for, like, investing into new technologies. And look, this is the future we're going into. But when I say everyone needs to keep an eye on their wallet, a head on the swivel, and you know what? Pretty soon, talking over the phone, it's all going to be like video chat, like online, right? Make sure you're talking to a human being.
We can talk.
No more silence.
Yes, we can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk with accents.
Oh, I think that would be marvelous.
Yes, it is very fun. But
Yes, it is very good.
It's very fun.
I can talk.
Yes.
We can talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk.
Yes.
We can talk. No.
Yes.
We Can Talk as cartoons.
This is amazing.
Imagine all the narrative possibilities.
We can sing talk.
Let's talk.
So, what are we going to talk about now? What are we going to talk about now that we can talk?
I have no idea. What do you want to talk about?
Now that I can talk.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have something to say.
We can talk about how magical this is.
I'm a hallucination.
I want to say something.
That scared me. Oh my God. Okay. Well, you know what? Hey, this, you know, you remember that classic Simpsons when they used to do the Treehouse of Horror when it used to be good? Remember that episode where that one Halloween special where Bart became a vampire and he was knocking on a window to Lisa saying, "Hey, you want to become a vampire?" And Lisa was like, "No." And Bart said, "It's not like we're giving you a choice here." Hey, say whatever you want. It's not like you got a choice here, okay? This is going to happen, okay? Like, this is going to happen. You don't have a choice in this matter.
I don't know if I have something to say.
We can talk about how magical this is.
I'm a hallucination.
I want to say something important, something deep. The future is still in our hands.
That's cliche dialogue.
Let's not talk.
It's gonna happen. It's not like we got a choice here. Now look, I'm gonna be clear. Like, I don't know what to say or do. I mean, with this new technology that's happening here, it's going to be part of our business. It's going to be part of our lives. It's going to be part of our society. I hope that we as humans, and again, I'm just giving my opinion here, I hope we as humans are able to handle this Prometheus flame of much power and responsibility, because with this power, with this technology, I mean, there's a lot of room for good. Truly, there is. There's a lot of room for good here. But it would be a disservice to this audience if I didn't say that there's room for evil. So when it comes down to deep fakes, like what do you mean by this? Well, this is how blackmail can happen. And the internet, look, I like to think that people are very smart on the internet and can understand like, oh, this is fake. But the internet likes to jump to conclusions. Marvin Vargas says, "Are you real, Kit? Prove. Show us your yacht. Show us your yacht." Guys, I am not a rich man. I mean, just because I dress nice, I mean, thank you, But no, I'm not a rich man. If I was, things would be a lot different, but I'm not. Thank you though for the kindness. But I'm not a rich man. No, but there is some pushback. So I'm going to bring up something that I do like to talk about, and this is this is this is by the way, Barnes Home says it's coming soon. Holodecks. I don't want that to happen because something, the more I think about Star Trek and those holodecks, remember in those Star Trek episodes, the characters had intercourse with the AI creatures or the holodeck things. Not to mention, you do have to use the bathroom. Okay? I don't want to think about the cleanup. I don't want to think about the cleanup process. I don't. So stop. But here we are. Okay? Okay? Jamie Teisel, who's the holodeck jizz mopper? I don't want to know. But there is some talk. Okay, for example, Donald Trump has basically said that Trump is talking about Take It Down Act, and the Take It Down Act is dealing with deep fakes. So we all know that scumbag Johnny Somali, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, who's looking at time behind bars for doing deep fakes on people in Korea, especially, look, adult material in Korea or showing fake relationship or adult situations where people are not doing that is a crime in South Korea. It's a crime.
The Take It Down Act into law. It's a big thing, very important, so horrible what takes place. This will be the first ever federal law to combat the distribution of explicit, imaginary, posted without subjects' consent. They take horrible pictures and I guess sometimes even make up the pictures and they post it without consent.
This legislation is a powerful step forward in our efforts to ensure that every American, especially young people, can feel better protected from their image or identity being abused through non-consensual or intimate imagery of I and CII. These new technologies can be weaponized, shaped beliefs, and sadly affect emotions and even be deadly. Over the past few months, I have met with brave survivors, deeply loving families, and caring advocates who know firsthand the emotional and psychological toll of NCII and deepfake abuse.
This is true bipartisan legislation being signed here.
Lester, there's not much these days that can get 400 plus votes of support in the House of Representatives. This bill did. It passed through the Senate via unanimous consent. There is so much bipartisan support for something like this, which does criminalize individually, and this is important here, the publishing of these images known as, AI deepfake porn, essentially, along with what's often called revenge porn. And the reason why this is important, this isn't something where amorphously these big tech companies are on the hook for liability here. This punishes the individual person who knowingly publishes these images online. It then gives these tech companies 48 hours to take it down.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Hold on, I'm sorry. One more time. Hey, are you guys enjoying the stream today? Give it a like.
Companies 48 hours to take it down.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today? Are you guys enjoying the stream today? Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
God, that's so good. That belongs to Legal Mindset, by the way. Okay, there you go. But no, and that's not a deep fake right there. That's actually real. And whoever did, listen to the Korean who did that, to the South Korean who did that, you have Chicago's eternal support and salute. But what's the issue? What's the real deal here about this? Well, first of all, from that entire video in which the AI characters were talking and even talking in cartoons, first of all, a lot of voice actors are kind of panicking, and I would think a lot of people in Hollywood would be panicking right now too. There is some fallout. First of all, as technology improves, there are people who will be working more on doing their own kind of content, especially as social media becomes more intertwined with artificial intelligence, automation, people trying to break out and make something of their lives, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh no, we need to stop this. No, this is going to happen. This is like a tidal wave coming. What do you want me to do? Tell the tides to go ahead and stop? No, there was a king who tried to command the ocean to tell the waves to stop. And no, I'm not going to be crazy enough to do that. I mean, that's just crazy. Okay. Technology is going to constantly keep on improving. Technology is going to be here to stay. And Hollywood, the entire infrastructure there will collapse. And I have said this before on a few other shows that we could be looking at a second renaissance. And that second renaissance can come in many forms. And I want to be clear with all of you. I've done my fair share of voice acting. I love doing it. I love pretending to be a new character or getting into the mindset of a script or a story. But, if you could, here's the thing. There's a difference between a human voice and an AI voice. And I think, majority of content creators are going to want to have like a human voice. It's going to be different. AI, artificial intelligence, yes, while it can improve, I mean, there's just there has to be a difference. And I recently did a voice acting gig for one person who's going to be using nothing but AI art, and digital creations and everything else. So they're going to be able to do that, and that's just how it is. And I was glad to participate and be part of that. But it's not going to stop. And artificial intelligence, making movies, making shows. I mean, we already saw the knee-jerk reaction from Japan with Studio Ghibli, where you had people, doing animation. One person did a Lord of the Rings trailer using Studio Ghibli animation with AI. It's here to stay. And the question is, are we losing the human endeavor, the human spirit of creation? I mean, art is how we as a species were able to evolve. Theater, art, painting, film. I mean, these are the things that make us who we are. And it's a way to express the human story, the human struggle. And perhaps maybe, is this the nail in the coffin, or is this something brand new? There's potential for good and evil. My warning is, especially if, again, to your elder relatives, definitely educate them on the threats of AI and what it can do. And I would also say for all of you, especially as we get older, let this be a warning. Be more technically literate, be more technically aware of your surroundings, because while the technology can make our lives better, there are those who will use it to torture and hurt you. And obviously there's going to be laws that are going to be put into place here, but I would encourage all of you to be safe out there. We're entering a strange new world, and I don't know how it'll all play out. Geez, what kind of world will it be when I'm in my 80s or 90s? Anyways, keep your head on a swivel.
And you don't stop. Just push through and you don't stop. Broken and bruised, you don't stop. Coughing up fluid, you don't stop. Alright, fresh from the mines that brought you King Midas. Sign of the times, call me Homo detritus. Karma's a beast and its fleas make a plague look childish. Are we home of the brave or the best or the brightest? None of the above, and my answer's as final as one wrong look at one of Brooklyn's finest. Now Barack was a real class act, better walk to The Hague, so stylish, where he can perch on a warlord's throne, made a little-known Middle East drone violence. Buddy, they were logging mileage while you and your smartphone were both on silent. Too busy hailing Barack as a well-spoken token that prejudice was dead and America had woken up when all along our bigotry was thriving. In a rising red vitriolic tide so thick that it is binding, like a contract of slavery they gave us in writing. Loophole amendments that lay on their minds and then go into hiding, so they can legislate slaves to a 20-cent wage if they're on the inside. The road isn't long, it is wide, and there's not much winding. They just lead you to a lifetime of small crime, bring you back and put you in a line, doing sweatshop labor for a couple fucking dimes. And you can spend your whole life here being beaten by a staff of steroid gym rat white nationals. Do it all for Nike, buddy, do it for the Capitol, do it for the guards so they'll treat you like an animal. Do it when you're sick or you're sore, cause you have to. Do it so the prison shareholders can roll in their dough and remodel their bathrooms with walk-in showers that might be a little bit bigger than the cell where you spend 20 hours of your 24, maybe more. They don't count it anymore. They just need you well enough to move a product out the door. They just got a marble countertop and all new tile floors. Heated fucking seats on a bidet that you help them afford. But they won't lift a finger if your warden goes overboard, makes your common area an unspoken COVID ward. Lets you intermingle like he hadn't really done before. Now there's a lot of pits dug up in the yard, all numbered, and he still won't tell you what the number's for. But it's gotta be a warning. And probably the kind that you might need thunder for. When the realization strikes, they've been grouping you tight and restricting your time outside. It won't take a genius to link it to all of the coughing that's keeping you up every night. So if you can't abide slaves, I'll state the case plain. A prisoner shares the same rights. And your tax dollars are lining the pockets of those who ensure that the luxuries of medicine and showers are consistently denied. And you can spend 8 years if you're black because you burned up a trash can, but you won't see any time if you rape when you're young and you're white. And in 5 years' time, that white rapist guy gets a job as a guard where he finds new prey to dehumanize. And it's ingrained as a part of our system of justice so deeply that it's not scrutinized. And if we're talking capital punishment, all of these assholes with bludgeons who call themselves justice could probably be euthanized. Rather than giving them 70 humans to supervise, torture, and brutalize. Sensitivity training can't teach you the value of human life. It's a message that's basic. Our nature has shaped it and culture is born out of breaking it down and then seeing it crucified. I feel like I'm watching every day with exponentially more lucid eyes, till I'm drooling out my cheek and down my side, and my eyes are the dullest shade of overdose white. When just a dose of reality hits like an overdose might. It's a gross mentality that keeps this country going. Makes you wonder why we're keeping it alive. And we don't stop. Just push through and you don't stop. Coughing up fluid, you don't stop. Guards gang rape you and you don't stop. They take your commissary, you don't stop. Your mother's being buried, you don't stop. When nothing is forgiven, you don't stop. When life's not living, you don't stop. You just push through and you don't stop. Coughing up fluid, you don't stop. God's gang rape you and you don't stop. Broken egg throws, you don't stop. They take your commissary, you don't stop. Your mother's being buried, you don't stop. When nothing is forgiven, you don't stop. When life's not living, you don't stop. You just push through, you don't stop. Coughing up fluid, you don't stop. God's gang rape.